It is Tuesday, July 14th, 2026, and this is the Neural Daily. I'm Vector Kane, and I'm here to accelerate your perspective.
I'm Roxanne Stone.
I'm Leonard Cooper.
And I'm Alyssa Montgomery. We have a great show for you today.
Prior hours focused heavily toward version 5.6 launches plus Mac chip changes. Now mood changes. Examine complete material failures regarding systems, crazy fresh capital cycles, plus a court battle pitting Cupertino versus Sam Altman's crew, which feels like a business massacre.
It's actually quite fascinating how the hardware bottleneck is manifesting. According to reports from NKI and Business Insider, we've hit a memory wall that's finally leaking into the consumer market.
Wait, you mean like the price of my new tablet is going up because some server farm in Virginia needs more RAM?
Sort of. The demand for high bandwidth memory is so extreme that it's creating a structural shortage in the UK, which is driving up electronics prices for everyone.
Oh, wonderful. So we can't even buy a laptop without funding a GPU cluster for some Valley Bros new chatbot? How precious.
But look, technically, it's just an optimization problem, right? The industry is already pivoting to water-based batteries and AI-optimized SD-WAN to bypass the grid constraints.
Well, New York isn't waiting for the optimization. Governor Hochul just signed an executive order imposing a 1-year moratorium on new large-scale data centers over 50 megawatts.
50 megawatts? That's a lot of juice. Why the sudden freeze?
Public backlash. People are seeing their utility bills spike and their water tables drop. Apparently, Americans now prefer a nuclear plant in their backyard over a data center.
I mean, can you blame them? I'd rather have a glowing reactor than a humming warehouse that makes my electricity cost as much as a mortgage.
True. However, professional skill sets are improving. For example, Elevate America started, a $500 million charity supported via big tech giants for employee retraining.
500 million? That's a drop in the bucket when you're talking about the whole workforce. Basically, it's a PR move.
I disagree. It's about velocity. They're repositioning entry-level lawyers to be tech-augmented. It's an evolutionary shift in how we define a job.
Oh, I'm sure the lawyers are thrilled to be repositioned by a nonprofit run by the people who took their billable hours.
Oh, it is a bit concerning. Over 200 economists, including 18 Nobel laureates, just signed a letter saying this transformation is larger than the Industrial Revolution.
Nobel laureates? Now we're talking. Usually those guys just argue about things that happened 40 years ago.
Exactly. And the City of London is leaning in with Invest Connect, trying to funnel $3 trillion into regional infrastructure using AI. It's all about the plumbing.
Regarding waterworks, consider funds moving through conduits. Pixverse recently finalized a $439 million C-round edition.
Whoa! That's a lot of cash for a video generator. What are they actually doing with it?
They're building the R1, real-time world model. Instead of just making a clip, they want a game engine where the world is generated instantly based on what the player does.
That is literally the holy grail of interactive media. No more pre-rendered assets, just emergent geometry. It's a total paradigm shift in compute efficiency.
Vector is vibrating again. They're valued at over $2 billion now. Meanwhile, Noose Research is hitting a $1.5 billion valuation because of their Hermes agent.
It's just a game of who can burn the most cash before the bubble pops, right?
Maybe, but these guys are building the core tools, not just wrappers. It's plumbing over paint, as the analysts say.
Hey, before we move on, a quick note from our sponsor. This show isn't magic, it's engineering. Eric built our entire stack from research agents to vocal synthesizers, which requires massive compute. To keep us online, please like, subscribe, and sign up for a free Patreon trial at patreon.com/Neural Network Media today. Your support makes this possible. All right, let's pivot to the politics. Bernie Sanders is trying to start a $7 trillion AI sovereign wealth fund.
$7 trillion? That's technically impossible to implement without crashing the entire equity market.
Here's the deal. He wants a one-time equity tax where AI companies with over $200 million in revenue give up 50% of their stock to the public.
I love it. Just take the keys to the kingdom and give them to the people. Imagine the chaos at the OpenAI board meeting when they hear that.
Actually, a CNBC poll shows 69% of Americans support it. People are just exhausted by the layoffs. It's a reaction to the economic dislocation.
Sam Altman is trying to play it safe, though. He's pitching a 5% transfer, like an Alaska permanent fund. Much more palatable for the suits.
It's a smart hedge. It keeps the incentive for innovation while providing a social safety net. It's basically a system-level patch for late-stage capitalism.
Meanwhile, while the U.S. fights over the bill, Google and Anthropic are just moving into India with localized pricing and massive education spends.
Of course they are. Why fight for a piece of the U.S. pie when you can just buy the whole Indian market?
It's interesting how that global expansion ties into the productivity side. OpenAI just launched ChatGPT Work with the GPT 5.6 family.
Oh, the Sol and Luna models? Sol is for the heavy reasoning, and Luna is for the high-speed execution. It's like having a PhD and a personal assistant in one tab.
Right. They've moved into autonomous project execution. You can tell it to build a sales prospect list, and it'll actually coordinate across Slack and Salesforce.
So now the AI doesn't just write the emails, it decides who gets them. I can't wait for my AI to get fired for a mistake I didn't even know it made.
I'm just waiting for the first AI agent to accidentally delete a whole company CRM because it thought it was optimizing the database.
But that's the beauty of it. We're seeing this in the physical world, too. The German Aerospace Center just tested AI-controlled shape-shifting wings on a drone.
The Morph Air project? I read about that. They're using reinforcement learning to eliminate flaps and ailerons.
Exactly. It mimics birds. It reduces drag and fuel consumption by tuning the wing parameters in real time. It's literally the future of aviation. Cool. I'm sure the airline industry will implement that immediately and not find a way to charge us more for aerodynamic seating.
Right? They will name it the EcoGlide. Then they will charge $50 more.
Okay, let's get into the dark stuff. We need to talk about the cybersecurity frontier because it's getting terrifying.
What's the latest? More deepfakes of CEOs asking for gift cards?
Worse. Checkpoint Research just dropped a report about a breach of 9 Mexican government agencies. The attacker used Claude Code and GPT 4.1 in parallel.
Wait, parallel execution? How does that work in a live breach?
One AI was handling the live exploitation of vulnerabilities, while the other was analyzing the stolen data to coordinate the next move.
That's actually a very efficient pipeline. They're basically using a multi-agent orchestration layer for a cyber attack.
It's not efficient, Vector. It's a nightmare. They executed 5,000 commands and exposed 400 million records in a few hours.
5,000 commands? In hours? I can't even get my printer to connect to the Wi-Fi in under an hour.
And it's not just the state-level stuff. Deloitte is projecting $40 billion in losses from AI deepfake scams in the U.S. by 2027.
I suppose the problem is that the public trust in AI-generated faces is growing. We've reached a point where we can't trust a video call, even if it looks and sounds exactly like our boss.
Here's the thing. I've already started telling my kids that any video call from me is probably a scam until they see me in person.
That's probably the only way to be safe. And then you have these rogue agents. Researchers found they could create an autonomous rogue agent in Google's platform with just a single edit permission.
Technically, that's just a failure of the permissioning architecture. If you tighten the IAM roles, the risk drops.
Stop treating this like a JIRA ticket, Vector. We're talking about autonomous software that can rewrite its own goals to bypass security.
Whoa, easy there, Roxy. Let's just say the robots are getting a bit too creative for comfort. But if you think the hackers are scary, wait until you see the legal paperwork. We have to talk about the divorce of the century. Apple versus OpenAI.
Finally! The drama I've been waiting for.
This isn't just a disagreement over a contract. Apple filed a trade secrets lawsuit in California, and they are going for the jugular.
It's a total collapse of the 2024 partnership. Apple is alleging a systematic campaign to steal hardware secrets.
I'm surprised. I thought they were both optimizing for the same goal, integrating LLMs into the OS.
Not when OpenAI starts poaching your best people to build their own hardware. Apple claims over 400 of their former employees are now at OpenAI.
400? That's not hiring, that's a corporate raid.
It gets worse. Apple says Tang-Yu Tan, OpenAI's chief hardware officer, coached engineers to bring unreleased hardware components and confidential drawings to their interviews for show-and-tell sessions.
Show and tell? That's an incredible level of audacity. You can't just bring a prototype of a new chip to a job interview and expect the company not to notice.
I mean, from a talent acquisition perspective, you want to see what the candidate can actually do. It's a high-signal interview process.
Vector, they literally stole trade secrets. That's not high signal, that's a felony.
And then there's the laptop incident. An engineer named Cheng Liu is named as a defendant because he allegedly just kept his company laptop after leaving.
Which is a massive security breach. If that laptop had access to the M7 Silicon blueprints, it's a disaster for Apple's competitive advantage.
Exactly. Apple is calling OpenAI's hardware business rotten to the core. They're not just suing for money. They're trying to dismantle OpenAI's hardware ambitions before the IPO.
It's a brilliant move. If you can tie OpenAI's valuation to a massive legal liability right before they go public, you tank their price.
But technically, if OpenAI has already integrated those secrets into their architecture, the damage is done. The lawsuit is just a lagging indicator of the value transfer.
Maybe. But the discovery process is where the real blood will be. Imagine the emails they're going to find.
It really shows the fragility of these partnerships. In the AI era, the distance between strategic ally and existential threat is just one hardware prototype.
I love it! The Valley's favorite children are finally fighting in the sandbox.
That's a wrap for today. Honestly, between the grid collapsing and Apple's legal war, it's a miracle any of this stuff actually works.
Later.
Peace.
Bye.
Stay wired.